So, I mean, we have noticed that thing. Just one game. They watch one game live, and they become instant fans of the game.
Are you teaching adults how to play football?
We have picked up the athletes that are familiar with contact. So people who played, rugby, soccer, wrestling, track and field. So we got them, and we started training into American football. So it was more like a transition of their sport rather than becoming totally bringing them up from
So on your
bottom up.
team, you have 40 players, let's say, 40 players, 30 players. How many of them are from India? How many are from America? How are you breaking up the roster?
Yeah, I mean, right now, our plan is to get the grassroots development. So we're doing predominantly all Indian natives, and if anybody living in India, so that's our thing. Is once we roll into our professional league phase, which would be in 2017, that's when we would like to add some American players or international players to that league. But in the meantime, it will be all local Indian players.
Now, when you say people call you crazy, I mean, yeah, crazy. You've got a dream. You've got a passion, you've got a vision, but more importantly now, you've got a plan. You've got your steps laid out. And I think that's what, people look at it and they go, oh, yeah, you just bring professional football to India. But there's a lot that goes into that. And let's say 100% we've got a professional league and we're playing there. Where are you in the process right now? I mean, you're halfway there, you're a fourth of the way there. Where are you in the process?
Yeah, so our main goal is to bring in the awareness and increase the interest in the game, basically.
Yep.
And we've been doing that for the last 2.5 to 3 years. So we're growing to the part, like we're in the high schools right now. We're in the universities. We have university championships going on. We also conducted some national championships in India. So we are rapidly growing in the form of interest and the technique and all the ecosystem around that.
Now, principle number 7 I want to ask you about, because principle number 7 is huge. It says, you must learn that every adversity has the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. And I'm sure that as you've been exporting football to India, you've probably run into some adversity, some challenges, some pushbacks, some setbacks. So when we come back, Z, we're going to be talking about some of the adversity that you ran into when you were first starting your optometry clinic. I'm sure, getting the sign on the building, there's some adversity there. I'm sure getting permits. I'm sure trying to teach a group of people how to play a sport they've never seen before has some challenges. So, Z, when we come back, we're going to be talking about pushing through setbacks.
I tell you what, that's the thing about it. If being an entrepreneur and starting a business was easy, we'd all do it. And that's why you got to start off with the right mindset and the right mental attitude, because you know what? When the problems come, when the adversity comes, it's so easy to go, Billy.
In the worst way, because you're going, hey, listen, I know that I don't have to be stuck where I'm at financially. Somebody's listening right now and you're just stuck in a bad place financially, and you're going, it doesn't have to be like that. I know that I don't have to be stuck here, and you're absolutely right. And so, as always, my name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year. I'm one of the co-hosts here, but I'm joined with a guy who's really a myth, a legend. He's kind of my entrepreneurial hero. This guy has started businesses in numerous industries. It's Dr. Robert Zellner. Sir, how are you doing?
I am fantastic, and I am so glad 20, however many years ago it was, that your wife, when she worked for me, encouraged you to come and creep on my business.
Yeah,
then i.e. me.
My wife is, and she was working as the
pre-tester.
The pre-tester.
Yes.
Which is where she blew a puff of air.
That's one of the things. It's not
the
the only thing they did, yeah. But that's one
For
of
some
the things
reason I've latched on to that. What does the pre-tester do?
Well, they do all the, it's kind of like the RN at a doctor's office. They do all the pre-testing to get into the exam room, and so there's a lot of automated things, chair skills, history, and a lot of things they do to get them. So that's the one that's the technician that's with you before the doctor comes in.
She looked hot in scrubs.
Yeah, well, she's a pretty lady, but it's good that she said, "Hey, Clay, you've started this DJ business in your dorm room."
Yeah.
Okay. And you might need a little coaching.
Matriculating.
Yeah, a little
education.
You've got the enthusiasm.
You got that enthusiasm.
You got the enthusiasm. You've got the want to.
Got the want to.
You got the want
I
to.
want to do it. I want to make my business grow.
You might, and she was so right, you might want to find some guys that have been successful in their business and then maybe go and, maybe learn a thing or two.
Let me tell you how dumb I was before interacting with you.
Well, please.
So many things I would do that were so dumb. One was that nothing was written down. There's no processes. As the Canadians call it, processes.
Processes.
For some reason, I've done a lot of speaking events in Canada, so it's a kind of a
Process,
thing.
yes, that's
the
how
processes. But the Canadians, what they would discover, I was working with a mortgage company. And it's so funny to me looking at my life now. You know, I'm 36. I kind of think back, going, "Gosh, I was so dumb." I want to go back and slap myself around. But the thing is, these mortgage companies, excuse me, I got a little Dayquil infusion here. But what happens is the Canadian mortgage company, once they start to get mortgages and people who are finding them online who are saying, "I want a mortgage," you realize when you answer the phone, you have to say, "Thank you for calling such and such mortgage," and there's a script for that.
Yes.
It has to be written down.
Yes.
Then you have to actually sit down with somebody and you have to go over their credit score. And you have to get this document and that document and this document. And there is a process, there's a checklist, there's a system that you have to follow. Otherwise, you can't write mortgages. I mean, if you've ever signed a mortgage, if anyone's listening right now and you've ever signed a mortgage, there's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things.
It's a day and a half anymore. I'm like, your arm's sore. You
got to initial all this. There's a lot of documents to sign. And I was trying to run an entertainment company without any checklists and no written down documentation.
Crazy.
And it is just brutal when you work for somebody who doesn't have any systems. Trying to figure out what to do is frustrating. When you're a customer who's buying, this is what happened. They would see me at a wedding and they would see me rocking the mic. And I'm just banging out that music, bringing that energy. And people would, every once in a while, they would screw up and they would go, "Can I get your card?" That was like the kiss of death. If you asked for my card, they would go, "Can I get your card?" And I go, yeah, here's my card. My name's Clay Clark. I own DJ Connection. Call me, book me, the best entertainment in town. 481-2010, where the fun begins. Boom.
Yeah.
Give them my card. They would call me, and from that point forward, it was just a cluster of crazy. Because they would, I couldn't even schedule an appointment. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And through watching your business, it's a true story. When you book an appointment to meet at your optometry clinic, you book appointments at set times.
That's crazy.
But customers would say, "Hey, what time could we meet? I'd like to meet to learn more about your services." And I would say, "Around 6. Dumb.
What? Stupid. At McDonald's, in your
around 6,
and your baggy clothes and your earrings. I'm like,
what a stupid idea. Around 6. So people are like, at 6 or 6:30. And I was like, "Hey, I'll be there around 6.
I'll be there around 6. Yeah.
I mean,
so
at no
weird about
specific
that?
times.
Yeah.
And then I would get to your wedding, and I'd say, what kind of music do you want? And you'd say, "I'd like some upbeat music." I said, "Fine, I'll play some upbeat music." Do you realize how general and vague and stupid that is?
Stupid.
Playing wrong songs for the first dance, screwing up announcements, just being stupid. Now I'm like so tight wound and just detailed that people would have a hard time believing that ever happened. But that was me.
That was you. And when you first came in the office, everybody was like, Who's this dude creeping in the office?
Who's this goon?
Who's this dude? And then we found out you were Vanessa's husband. We're like, no way.
Yeah, just stupid.
No way.
Now, Dr. Mova, Champagne Super Mova, Dr. Vin Mova. Sir, why is it so important that if anyone entrepreneur is listening to this, why is it so important that they get detailed and they begin to get specific about systems and checklists? Why do you eventually have to get specific and detailed?
Well, you want to be best at what you do. You better know what your trade. What Dr. Z said, so. Without you being completely involved in what you're doing, I don't think you're really offering what's necessary. So it's very important if you are committed to what you're doing. Absolutely, do your homework and get as detailed as possible.
Get detailed. Now, Thrivers, principle number 7, you must learn that that every adversity has the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. I'm going to give you a notable quotable from Napoleon Hill. He says, "When defeat comes, accept it as a signal that your plans are not sound. Rebuild those plans and set sail once more toward your coveted goal." He goes on to say, "Before success comes in any man's life or woman, he is sure to meet with much temporary defeat and perhaps some failure. When defeat overtakes a man, the easiest and most logical thing to do is to quit. And that is exactly what the majority of men do. More than 500 of the most successful men in this country has ever known told the author their greatest success came just one step beyond the point at which defeat had overtaken them." Z, that's a lot of stuff there, but defeat has to happen first. Failure is a prerequisite to success. Sir, what kind of defeat did you run into? What kind of pushback, what kind of frustration and problems did you run into when you were first trying to open up your optometry clinic 25 years ago, last Friday?
Well, I tell you what, there's so many. That's probably a whole show. But the bottom line, the takeaway is that, you could either, when you get, defeat's going to come.
Yeah.
Is the bottom line. Defeat's going to come. And people out there listening going, no. That's why I'm listening to the show. I don't want defeat. I don't want to ever lose. That's why I'm listening to you guys. Coach me up. I'm not learning by mistakes. I'm not learning by defeat, you know.
I don't want problems.
Yeah, but you have to fail forward. You know, there's been a lot of great people out there that have built very successful businesses on the backs of bankruptcies that have happened before that, you know. So the thing about it is, like in my business, I mean, failures are, I mean, there's so many of them. I mean, just getting the business process going, you know, is so tough. And also having employees that, you know, steal from you, having employees that don't show up, having employees that quit you without a notice. I mean, these are all defeats. I mean, these are all things that you look in the mirror and you go, oh my gosh, I got to do something about that today. I've got to rally the troops. I mean, nobody cares as much as you do when you start and own your own business. Trust me. And everybody else will treat it as kind of a hobby.
And just little things like getting a checklist done. Like this weekend, we have so many Thrivers all around the world who want to come out to our workshops. I'm working on checklists and systems right now so that when you come here in droves, everything will be specifically right. And getting that detail, getting that specificity done, getting that nomenclature, getting the files saved in the right place and gathered up, everything requires you to push through some kind of adversity. And I'll tell you what, the only way that I know for you to avoid, to completely avoid adversity, to completely escape that failure and that toughness is really do nothing. I mean, if you just want to do nothing, I mean, it's a move.
Yeah, it is a choice. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you don't want to experience defeat, if you don't ever want to experience getting into a fist fight, just sit down and do nothing.
And Thrivers, right now, if you're listening, I want to tell you something encouraging it's so exciting. Is Dr. Robert Zone, I'm going to list off some of the things that he's involved in. Z66 Auction, one of the most successful auto auctions in Oklahoma. Then you have the optometry clinic. It's Dr. Robert Zoner and Associates.
Yep.
Then you have the Z60, the Z's, it's the Z Sleep Center. It's the Z Sleep Center. So you help people who are struggling to sleep. Then you have A to Z Medical. It's a durable medical equipment company. You have the Rockin' Z Ranch. You have all these different businesses. And you know what? I mean this. I'm not attacking Dr. Z. I'm not ripping on him. I'm just saying he's a smart guy, but he's no smarter than you, Thrivers. I'm telling you, he can do it.
I concur.
He can do it, and you can do it. And we're going to teach you those proven systems. The same systems that he has used to start and grow a business are all available for you at one beautiful website. Z, what website is that?
A couple of years ago, we said, hey, listen, we can only business coach so many people.
Yep.
Let's scale this. Let's put it online. And that's what we did with Thrive15.com. That's THRIVE15.com. You can get on. It's kind of like a Netflix. It's a monthly fee of just $19. And yet you have thousands of videos at your fingertips whenever you want them. And we've done the hard work. We've gathered up these great mentors.
Spent millions of dollars flying around, coding a website, optimizing a website, and now Thrive15.com can be yours for just $19 a month. It includes workshops. You can call in, get your questions answered. We have thousands of videos. It's all available at Thrive15.com, the world's best